So upon year, I believe, 2016, I had realized somewhere in my memory and existence that I have been traveling here and there without really knowing where I am. And I had mentioned to God while he was spiritually at church down the street where I had priorly went to talk about a marriage matrimony at that church. I had asked him to spark the tree with his powers and abilities, and strangely, this tree has been informing me everywhere I am going. For example, one day it looks like I was at the Garden of Eden. For example, one day it looked like I was by the Tree of Knowledge. One day it looked like I was at an alien planet, and so on. So it obviously indicates that this tree looks very, very real compared to people around here on majority of the days. The tree's energy, the trees, and even the conversations, similarly to having reading abilities, as in silent conversations with Jacob and our other life. So I had gone to the park to camp one day, and I sensed that this tree had asked me how to get a license, similar to the trees at the park where I had camped, to not harm the tree, to always be safe, and to never literally cut it down, and so on. So it obviously shows that in my infinity, if you ever search my social media sites, I am referring to the supposed government, and they might find a caption where I write, "I am talking to the trees," or something like that, if it was ever in there. But obviously, this usually happens when I am having a silent cigarette moment. However, to the bright side, it might look like I'm having a secret, because they are always going to claim suicidal ideation and so forth. So it was a secret for the bright side, obviously. But when we're talking about this very tree, on many days, it does tell me where I am location-wise, as I cannot tell where I am most of the time because I cannot see where I really am. Meaning everything looks the same the entire time, and my home everywhere looks the same, but I know I am not at the same location. So it's very strange that some days I literally hear people at the door, "Can I see Monica?" or "Honey, are you home?" or whatever else. But it is an obvious indication that some days I am really not. One day I actually literally walked in the home. I felt like someone burnt me and I melted while I was alive. So, I mean, these are obvious signs that people are attacking me and people are burning me, but I am very much still here. As if we're gonna just differentiate, as I have heard, like, for example, in the Infinity, when Chad Burgess went to the Air Force, soul named Adam, he had flew over some location, asked for the coordinates. And that very coordinates was where I was and where I am. Zoom to another time and location. The doctor at the clinic did mention, why would I want to move here? As to no one really knows where it is. If we're going to take it to a serious point of conversation and thought, no one really knows where this place is. So, when we're talking about Sagas, it, as I am understanding, is the dark side. No one really knows what is where in the dark side, as it's completely dark, which is usually inhabiting vampires, dark people, and supposedly life that are at peace, but to the bright side, they usually claim it's someone bad. So when we're looking at Santa Clarita, it is a bright side, heaven, Santa, nice, something like that. And when we're looking at the colors as to of Sagas, it is red, sausage, hell. When we're looking at Santa Clarita, it is blue, white, heaven, things like that. So if you want to know where I really am, I am here, there, here, there, here, there. Obviously, if someone's gonna say they went to this and that person's house and I wasn't home, it's because someone in this very location, one, my brain is paranoid because someone had captured Brain Element and prosecuted him. Two, Strength Element, one of the boss of hell, had been murdered violently and really scary, as I did hear it someplace or another. Three, the dark side, since I recall my dreams in another location, is the bright side had entered, strangely like demonic humans with huntsman abilities to literally attack peaceful vampires and so on. Four, we're going to talk about heaven as in terms of the arrival of my arrival to heaven. Wasn't really nice, was it, as it was killing half my body to have me design doves and things like that for heaven. So it is not really amazing nice where I am actually located 24/7. As supposedly one of my dads in The Infinity had mentioned, it is only a passing ground to where I choose to exactly pass to. But is it? As the path took me to heaven, 3rd century, whatever, had all this power, wind power, all this power, similar to Moses. It was a constant threat. The bright side to claim I murdered to get there, just by cleaning. And then the dark side innocently, nicely asked how. That's when they claim I wanted to know how to murder. So some weird like conversation and things like that are going on with supposedly aim in my brain. And the only outcome and solution and findings of this is because Brian, Brain Element, in my real big connection, had gotten captured in a jail that we don't know where. So obviously this indicates that my brain is supposedly being abused somewhere. If you don't understand why Brian is my brain element as in terms of my connection to indicate that there's something wrong with my brain, is because obviously since I was in WizKid, I wrote Brain as Brian. And the reason why I know this, that it is Brian blood type O, that I did eventually know in the path of my journey, is because it is obvious to me. He appeared looking like Blue Ribo, WizKid all over him, creator of the Dark Web, computer world, and our dimension, and his name was Brian, which is the only person that I know that is a genius and is Brain Element.